everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, July 5th, 2026. Patty has shot Jack more than once, and now she has stabbed him too. OMG! Patty stabbed Jack with Mrs. Martinez's kitchen butcher knife. And it was so much blood, too. She jammed the knife right into his gut and then pulled it out, and all this blood just was gushing out of him. We are going to be moving Nikki out of that hospital next week and just putting Jack right into her bed. Genoa City needs a surgeon right now, more than ever. Isn't there anyone with a medical degree and 2 working hands who can answer that call? Wow. The most disturbing part was the way Patty was saying, it's okay, it's okay. Like she was comforting him. We'll be together in the afterlife. Like she wanted to personally escort him through the pearly gates, only she wasn't going to join him or anything. And then the way that she was laying on top of him, like loving on him as he lay dying by her hand. This is nuts. This is nuts. I mean, thank goodness I don't believe for a second that he is going to die. But he is going to be in for the fight of his life. And part of me thinks that Jack was being way too casual about Patty in the first place. Like, he was not nearly concerned enough as the whole thing was unraveling, escalating. He should have called the cops and had her hauled out of there before she had the chance to shiv him. What a psycho. Total psycho. The dropping of the robe. Like when she was begging him to make love to her, not have sex with her. Make love to her. I mean, it was the literal embodiment of trying to force someone to love you. And even Jack said to her, this has got to be exhausting for you. And she just stood there, oblivious. I've got to get a quick shout out to Stacey Hyduck, though, because number one, she played it so convincingly. And number two, when that robe dropped to the floor, I could see the back of her thighs, and they were smooth as butter. I don't know if that was a camera trick, but she looked good. She looked really good. And then Patty goes upstairs to put on some music, some romantic music, and some perfume enough to gag a maggot, apparently. Oh, that had to have been like my favorite line of the week right there, because Jack was already hating this woman. She has kidnapped his wife. She has hijacked his life. She is repulsive to him. And for once he comes home and she is not there. He is relieved that she is not there. And he knows because she wears enough perfume to gag a maggot. Okay, whoever wrote that line needs to keep on writing, please, because that was unique. A unique and special burn. And she deserves it. I mean, Patty's threats were not even subtle anymore. She said, if you don't make love to me right now, then you are sentencing Diane to death. I mean, it couldn't be more clear. I would think that would be clear grounds for arrest if Jack had been wearing a wire or something. I mean, why did we even bring Detective Burrow in on this case at the beginning just to have him disappear as things heated up? The Abbotts kind of decided to take matters into their own hands, including Kyle storming the castle to rescue Diane after Jack lured him out of the house by sending a meetup text from Patty's phone. Kyle rushed in after bursting through an unbarred window somewhere, dogs barking in the background, and Kyle said he gave those dogs all the beef he could carry. Is that in addition to or including himself? Because the real hunk of beef is that body, Kyle. Markham came back while Kyle was still inside, and Diane had him hide, and she decided to go through with her own little plan to rescue herself. So creepy Larry would only give her one sleeping pill at a time, which forced her to go through his pockets and take enough of the pills for him not to notice. I mean, it would have been hard for him to notice anything but her. He was too busy noticing every little detail of her body to see anything else. Diane had him so enamored. What a fool! What a total fool! I don't know who was the bigger fool, Jack or Markham. I mean, did you see the way he was looking at Diane? Like, as she was talking, he could not keep his eyes off of her lips and her chest and her body. He was so clearly falling under her spell. Clearly wishing he would have bought her something other than that denim shirt. Maybe something a little more low cut. I couldn't believe that. This well-to-do doctor has a state-of-the-art gym downstairs and an extravagant wine collection. And he bought her a denim shirt to wear. He has expensive wine collection money. And he got her a denim shirt. I hated him right then and there. The second Diane walked out in that inferior shirt, trying to act like it was just her style, I said, I hope this man gets it. And I stand by that. I hope he never wakes up. Ugh. Yeah, Diane cracked open those sleeping pills and dropped that powder right over the top of those little delicate red pepper canopies. And like an idiot, he took the bait. He was so into it. he thought he was gonna get some. Ew, that's the grossest part. He didn't even want to wait for the dinner. There was a point where he tried canceling the dinner and just going straight to dessert. But Diane insisted, and that made me really enjoy her telling him the plan. Like, as he was passing out, she was revealing how she had one-upped him. He deserved it. Every bit of it and more. Every morsel of it and more. And then I also enjoyed her picking up the phone and saying hello to Patty. I think that was really the thing that sent Patty over the edge. Because Jack's rejection was one thing. That had become usual to her. He rejected her 100 different times. But thinking that Diane was coming back and that her plan wasn't going to work, I think that was the final blade. In her mind, anyway. I cannot believe that the last image for the week in my mind, burned into my mind, is Jack dying on the floor and Patty lying on top of him. I mean, what the heck is going to happen next? Diane and Kyle left Markham sleeping in his chair, booked it off the property, and they're currently speeding back to the Abbott mansion just in time to, well, I guess stay tuned next week to find out. And here I thought that the Jill recast was going to be the biggest news of the week. What do you guys think of our temporary Jill? Y&R chatters. Are we open to a permanent Jill recast? Ooh, that's our poll question for the week at yrchat.com. Could you accept a non-Jess Walton Jill? Even if it's not Lauren Koslow. Would you accept a recast? Or if it is Lauren Koslow, I can't wait to see what you guys think about that. I actually am open to it, and I loved Lauren. I thought she was great. She was a recognizable face. And you could eat off of that face, too. Smooth as porcelain. Plump as a roast. She looked great. Definitely an overall more mild Jill, but I can only imagine that Lauren Koslow would have known, like, I'm in this role temporarily. Y&R fans are loyal to Jess Walton, so don't make it big. Just be present. And I thought that she nailed it. I said this in my Jill recast video that, you know, I love Jess Walton. I'm a big Jess Walton supporter. She's the Jill to me. I've never really known any other Jill, but there have been other Jills. And if it's a choice between video calls with Jess Walton once a year or a recast, sorry guys, I vote recast. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I guess the real question is, the bigger question is, why now? Why bring Jill back just to resurrect the Kane versus Billy feud? I mean, we didn't really need Jill in order to do that. There would have been plenty of other ways to get us there. But still, Jill has 2 or 3 more episodes to go. I'm wondering if there is more to the story. Does Jill have some kind of secret information Or is she going to do something that kicks off a new story? I guess time will tell. Kane is assembling his Team Chancellor right now, and this week he offered Billy a job, which Billy will begrudgingly take and then try to out-top dog him. I think we can all see where that is headed. In the previews, it looks like Kane is also going to be hiring Holden, maybe at Lily's suggestion, maybe with Lily's blessing, certainly. And then I think Kane is absolutely going to be hiring Matt, too, as a way to keep his enemies closer. Kane knows that Matt is shady, and Matt kind of fed into that this week in a very smart way. He invited himself to break up Lily and Kane's dinner date, which was going so well. They had another kiss, and they had some like power play, foreplay stuff going on. To me, it seems like Lily loves being in control of him. She is such a little dominatrix to her bad boys. That's what she likes. Bad boys who need to be punished. It's her pattern. But anyway, Matt told Kane, yes, Victor did ask me to spy on you. I'm kind of a secret agent, you know. Only I don't have any cool gadgets. But Matt gave Kane this whole song and dance about how he wants to make something of himself. And I think that part is true, but Matt also did evade Kane's questions about whether or not he really was from Kansas. And so Matt was telling some truths and some lies, but I think he's still firmly working for the Newmans, because what Matt wants more than anything is validation and forgiveness from the people who he hurt the most. So I think he's going to continue to try to work for the Newmans. I even wonder if Nick and Matt are going to end up being friends after all of this. Noah had a talk with Nick this week, encouraging him to let all of that bitterness go for the sake of his recovery. And that seems like a good idea, because Nick has been so single-mindedly obsessed with Matt Clark for so long. I don't even know what he's going to do with his time now. We just have to make sure it's not drugs. Nikki is out of surgery, but whether or not it worked remains to be seen, shall we say. But I'm sorry, those eye band-aids are creeping me out. That is like some kind of horror movie or something. Eyeless, flesh-colored Nikki. It's the stuff of nightmares. It seems like it should be something at like a creepypasta or something. Ugh. Everyone in the family is worried for Nikki. Victor is secretly watching her from the sidelines, and next week she's moving back into the ranch. What do you know? Her blindness put her right back back into the home and into the life that she shared with Victor. But this reunion is not giving me the feels yet. We've had a couple of flashbacks, and I do love those, but it's all feeling a little bit contrived at this point. I want Y&R to stretch this out so that I can at least get the maximum romance and maximum reunion juice out of this, because otherwise, what's the point? I need to see Victor waiting on her hand and foot, maybe putting her makeup on her again, because, like, I don't know. The fighting between Victor and Nikki has been so vicious for so long, and ultimately, that's always what it is. It's always vicious between them when they break up. Like, Victor and Nikki break up hard every time they do it. So I feel like I'm gonna need to see them make up hard this time too. Nikki is not Victor's first blind wife. All this talk about blindness, of course, has done a fantastic job of reminding me of one of the characters that drew me to Y&R. Hope Adams. Adam's mother. Hope was blind, but she was not helpless. I feel like Hope was warm, but she was tough, and she didn't have to see to know exactly what was going on. And in 1993, a 13-year-old Allie fell in love with the romance of Victor and Hope on that farm in Kansas. Oh, it was a simpler time. But it was not built to last. Hope married Victor. Together they had Adam, and then Y&R killed her. But I never forgot her. Never. I think of Hope all the time. And this week's retro recap is the story that honestly is the most near and dear to my heart, because it was my first one. The story of Victor and Hope was the story that drew me into Y&R and never let go. Over 30 years later, it still has me. So it's because of Hope and Victor and Hope and this blind woman in this Kansas farm. It's because of all that Y&R Chat exists, and it was the inspiration for the Fauna and the Flora book 1. I just can't really even tell you how meaningful it was to me to watch Victor Newman fall in love with this woman who had no eyesight and yet had this incredible insight. And for him to love her and learn from her and raise a child with her and then ultimately lose her was just, I mean, it's drama. It's the essence of drama to me. It's the most fundamental of dramas to me. So if you never have a chance to watch any other of my Y&R retro recaps, definitely watch this one, because it is so straight from the heart and so fundamental to my love of Y&R. YRChat.com is where you can find it, or just search it out on YouTube. It truly is a story worth reliving again and again. Winning is a lot easier when you're arguing with yourself. I love that line. I am my favorite person to argue with because winning is a lot easier when you're arguing with yourself. Who do you think said that? If you know, go to yrchat.com. Hey, I have got a very special birthday shout out to my girl, Sharita. Happy birthday, Sharita. Today, of all days, I get to actually wish you happy birthday on your birthday. I hope you have a gorgeous one. Come say hi this week. I think I haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks. Come say hi if you're still with me, which I know you are busy, but I hope all is going well, my friend. I think Y&R has given you a birthday gift. At least I consider it a gift. Okay, 2 things. First, the short one, which is Ashley is coming back. So next week, I think it was Friday the 10th, we can look forward to Ashley coming back, probably to weep at Jack's bedside. But I'm also really curious to know if she's going to bring any information about this Lawrence Markham, because it was Ashley who ushered in Alan Laurent and then Martin Laurent. So I wonder if there's any chance that Ashley will have some additional information, maybe about a third brother. We'll see. But the other much larger news is Josh Griffith has stepped down as head writer of The Young and the Restless. And it's funny because this actually, I think this news broke last Saturday, and I was like, why didn't I see that? And then I realized, well, I actually did see it, but I ignored it because I thought it was old news. I thought I was looking at the previous announcement that he had stepped down as executive producer, because he did that a couple of weeks ago, and then Sally McDonald became the only executive producer, and he was just going to be the head writer. And then a couple weeks later, now he's stepping down from head writer responsibilities too. So, wow. He's been a writer for quite a while. I mean, he's had a good stretch. I don't remember what year he started, but nearly a decade I think he's been around for. And now he is no more. It does not sound to me like he was fired. He was, in fact, not fired. He announced that he was stepping down, and he's going to continue to write the show until Y&R finds an appropriate replacement. So to me, it sounds like this was his decision, or at the very least a mutual decision, and that means that there is going to be an announcement coming about who will step in for him. Very excited, honestly. I have mixed feelings about Josh Griffiths because there's been some great stories within the last 10 years, but there's also been some ridiculousness and some things that I've been super frustrated about. And so, you could say that about anybody, so it can't be too salty toward him specifically. More so, I just feel like it'll be good to have some fresh writing, some fresh perspective, somebody new coming in and saying, all right, let me give you my creative ideas here. I feel like the head writer position at Y&R should be similar to the president of the United States, where they should be up for re-election every 4 years. And the fans should vote. Is there any way we could get that happening? I think fresh material is exactly what the show needs right now. So, I mean, thanks, Josh, for the work that you've done. Nobody's all bad. Nobody's all good. He's put in some effort there. I'm sure it's an incredibly difficult job because it's not just a creative job. The Young and the Restless is a business. They have advertising to sell. They have special interests, I'm sure, up and down the ladder of things that they need to meet. It's all about the ratings. It's all about the demographics. And so I'm sure that's a really hard line to balance. And who knows, maybe he'll be happier moving on. Maybe he'll move on to another soap. Maybe we'll get somebody from another soap to come in and write the show now. Or maybe it'll be somebody like totally from outside soap world that can come in and bring some fun perspective. I'm going to stay positive about it because I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to get. So let's get back to the stories, though. Sharon W. says, has Patty stabbed or drugged herself to stay with Jack, as she says? Does she assume Jack will not make it and she's romanticizing the story of Romeo and Juliet? After all, we know Patty is insane, so anything's possible. You know, Sharon W., that's the best question, because I didn't see Patty stab herself. I didn't see her take any drugs or anything to kill herself. So it almost just kind of seems like she wanted to send Jack to the afterlife and then meet up with him later. Oh, she wasn't going to actually join him now. She was just going to send him there and then wait for herself to get there naturally. Diana says, why didn't Jack call Paul about Patty? Paul used to be a detective, and Patty is his sister. Maybe Paul could have helped Jack by talking to his sister and using his PI skills to find Diane. Paul should know what Patty has been doing. You know, Diana, that is such a good point because, well, number one, Paul was always involved in pulling Patty back from the brink in the past. Every single time we've had Patty, we've also had Paul. And there was always this element of Paul being afraid for her, being sad for her, trying to protect her, like the one person in the world who was actually on her side. And I think that relationship, the fact that Patty had her brother and someone who cared about her as a person, not as a one-dimensional villain, I think that really added a lot to the character, and that is something that just we don't get anymore. Y&R just said no thank you to Paul at a certain point. And I don't know if there's any chance that a new writer, some new blood at The Young and the Restless could make any difference in the status of Doug Davidson's returning with the show, because he seemed pretty fed up. I mean, Doug himself seemed pretty done. I did a deep dive on it in another retro recap, and I think he felt offended, and I think he just got kind of quietly ignored and quietly dropped, and I don't think he had a lot of resolution about it, but I think he had a lot of bitterness about it, and I don't know if enough time would have gone by to where he would have changed his mind about that. But, you know, at the same time, again, I'm open to recasts. I love the longtime actors. I love that we can grow with actors and see them for decades and decades on screen. There's like nowhere else on television where that really exists. So that's very special to me. But I can't get, you know, to attach to the point where I refuse a recast. I like when the story keeps moving. I feel more attached to the characters than the actors who play them. So for me, a recast of Paul would be okay. It's not my preference. I'd rather have Doug Davidson. I'd rather have Jess Walton. But if we can't make those things happen for whatever reason, I'm okay with a recast. We'll see. I mean, you never know when one little piece of the puzzle changes behind the scenes and then suddenly maybe he could come back. Sherrod says, why the heck would Jack let that woman get close unless Patty's correct and he does want her? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, she does have perfume that smells that could gag a maggot, though. I mean, it's funny because she was naked and standing in front of him and saying, well, this is the body that you loved on the yacht. And I think that really did mess with Jack's head because I don't think he consciously is attracted to her, and yet he did go through the act of having sex with her on the yacht, and there were drugs involved, but they weren't exactly like knockout drugs. So, you know, there may be a piece of him that was attracted to her. At one time, he was married to her. And so maybe there is something deep down in him that still cares for her, is attracted to her, and he's fighting it. But I think he ultimately let her close because he thought that was what it was going to take to keep Diane safe. And of course, it's all part of crazy story for creating crazy scenario. Gary says there's a word for Jack, and the word is not Patty, it's Patsy. He did invite some of this by letting her into his house, letting her into his life. He decided to play with fire, and that did not go well for him. They all had the option of involving the police and taking the safer route to keep everyone for sure okay. But Jack chose bringing Patty in. Kyle chose storming onto that property. I mean, he could have been torn to shreds by those dogs. It was dangerous. They did choose the more dangerous route. But that's soaps, you know? If everybody made the right decisions, it would be so boring to watch. Daisy says, I wonder if Patty will set the stage to make it look like Diane stabbed Jack. She could put Diane's DNA on the knife to ensure that she'll be charged. But maybe when Lawrence wakes up believing Patty will kill Diane and feel redemptive, he'll rush to the Abbott home and tell the police it was Patty. Would he, though? It would be nice. But Jack waking up and telling the police it was Diane might happen. I hope Diane doesn't get away with this, though. Do you mean Patty? That he'll just tell him? Yeah, I mean, because the second that Jack wakes up, he would know. He would be able to tell the whole story. I love the idea that Patty frames Diane for it because she has created this whole scenario of, oh, well, Diane's the crazy one. I wonder if we're going to catch Patty and then get some background information that tells us she actually broke out of the mental institution, that she was never released, and that Markham is a patient too. Sharon W. says, a heartwarming and comical moment between Diane and Kyle with lots of hugging, and then Kyle's struggle with the good doctor's large ring of keys. Yeah, I mean, that's suspense for you, because they got all the way through this incredible, harrowing tale. I mean, Kyle had to stuff his pockets with beef to distract these dogs and then find the one window without bars that Diane wasn't able to find herself. Come into the house. They survived the whole Markham coming back and then having to wait for him to fall asleep, only to get to the front door and there's a giant ring of keys. That is so suspenseful. It's that little extra added, right as you're at the end of the tunnel. Oh, Connie says, Dr. Lawrence, aka Larry to Patty, and Crazy Larry at my house, is such a good choice for the role. The actor is Jer Burns, and he is frequently cast as a villain. Since Victor has that covered, he's just doing crazy very well. He has the villain look and a creepy, diabolical personality that's fun to watch. Yeah, Connie, we should totally give props to Jer Burns for pulling off this villainous role. He has done really good. I mean, he's played it with a level of seriousness, but then as Diane was making inroads with him romantically, you could really feel his eagerness, you know, like he just doesn't get that kind of attention from the ladies, and he was really wanting her and almost like could not stay in his own skin, did not want to stay for the dinner, just wanted to go right for the dessert. And through it all, he's played it with an eerie calm. Diane has questioned his methods at various points, and he always has some kind of comeback. He was, in fact, always correcting her until she got to the part where she wanted to talk about transference and falling in love with him. Then he was like, yeah, you might be right. Russell says Tracy felt a cold chill when she looked at Larry. Is that more evidence of a facial reconstruction? That's what I was thinking too. Was Tracy feeling the aftermath of the man that she got to know very well, Martin, with a different face? Was she just like kind of feeling that vibe? She got a cold chill. Or was it just sort of a, oh, I've been in a similar situation to this? I'm surprised that Tracy hasn't brought that up, checked in on Martin, like, let me just do a cross-check here and make sure he's still in jail. That has not happened, but Tracy was really fired up this week, and it was great to see her. I was really hoping that Tracy would be the one to get in there and resolve this. Everyone else was trying and failing, and for one bright moment I thought maybe Tracy could be the one to bring it all home. Victoria says the conversation between Tracy and Kyle showed the depth of Tracy's grief. Colleen is always present for Tracy. What a gift for Kyle to share the story of Harrison and the found tapes. For a short time, Colleen lived through this story and in Harrison's love for her voice at bedtime. Yeah, that was incredibly moving. I thought it was interesting that Tracy revealed to Kyle that she actually has dreamed of killing Patty, that she has dreams where she wants to kill her, which again is interesting because yes, Patty was very much directly involved in Colleen's death, but it was Victor Newman who set that whole chain of events into motion, and Tracy still turned around and gave Victor Newman Colleen's heart. That's right, the heart of Tracy's daughter beats within Victor. She was somehow able to come around to forgiveness for him, but not to Patty, who has this mental disorder. Now, I don't know. I think that Patty has to have been broken out of the mental institution. I don't think she is cured. For the level of absolutely off the hinge that she is, I feel like nobody would have actually released her, and I'm expecting her to get hauled off at the end of all this, not to be seen for a couple more years. Steven says, are we about to discover that the great Victor Newman has fingerprints all over this mess after all? Victor orchestrated Jack's yakking on Lake Michigan and no doubt greased the wheels for Larry to get Patty sprung from the loony bin. Could Patty be getting ready to supergrass to the top? If she's threatening to take everyone down, maybe Larry isn't the biggest fish she's about to expose. Yeah, Stephen, I hadn't thought about that, but I mean, definitely Victor was the one who gave her the money for the yacht yakking. There's certainly a possibility that Victor could have been behind part 2. Will that be revealed next week? I feel like next week we got to be getting toward the end of this. There has to be some kind of reveal. I mean, it's climaxed, so I'm expecting that we're going to get some resolution here soon. Well, Naomi says, the actress playing Jill is just fine with me. She captures the essence of Jill, and I wouldn't mind her as a permanent replacement, if that means she's back in GC for an extended time. Yeah. Brent says, I like the new Jill too. My first impression was, this is Jess Walton, de-aged 20 years, with many fewer packs of cigarettes in between. No judgment. Just that she's missing that Jess Walton's husky voice. Yeah, that's funny. She's smoother. She definitely was a smoothed out, toned down version of Jill, but strangely similar. Brent also says, it's funny how in Soapland characters transcend actors so quickly and easily. Having said that, I'm counting on Walton being back. Yeah, I know. I'm able to adjust to recast. I don't know. Is it just me? I accept them pretty quickly. It's the characters that I love. Connie says, maybe it's just me thinking that the real Jill on a Zoom call with Billy and Kane would have been adequate and just as impactful as we got with the substitute actress at the AC. Her performance was perfectly fine, even though that tired old pink suit was not. Unless this storyline involves pertinent issues or matters more than rehashing old Chancellor business or family rivalry, I don't see the immediacy of the guest appearance. I would rather just wait for Jess Walton in her stylishly dressed fashion. Yeah, that's the question, Connie. Like, there was nothing exceptional that was being discussed. There wasn't even anything new that was being discussed. It was all old stuff. So why? Why did we need to recast in order to get that particular convo? The only thing I can think is that there might be something more coming. I mean, when I heard the news about the recast, I was like, oh, well, clearly it must be something big. Otherwise, Y&R would not go to the trouble of doing this, of recasting the role. They must need something from Jill on a story level that they can't get anywhere else. And then here we are, and it's like, okay, well, all those episodes weren't really very remarkable in terms of moving the plot or offering anything new. I almost kind of wonder, is there any chance it was a subtle, you can be recast message to be sent to Jess Walton? Like, if you don't want to do this anymore, we can get someone else to? I don't know. Russell says, Lily told Billy that Kane was going to run Chancellor. So why is he acting surprised and outraged when Jill brought it up? Yeah, that bugged me. I mean, we had a scene where Lily told Billy, she's the owner of Chancellor Industries, Kane is running it. And then flash to this week, the conversation with Billy, Jill, and Kane. Billy was acting like this was the first time he'd heard of it. Oh, really? Kane's the CEO of Chancellor. I had no idea. Well, yes, you did. To me, this feels like more instance of just things with the writing not lining up. I mean, we had the whole Beyond the Gates crossover not lining up. We had those focused episodes to, sort of bring the Jack and Patty thing to a head. Normally, we wouldn't get 2 days of episodes on one story. Something was speeding along there. Something with the writing didn't add up, and this was another consequence of that. Like, there was a change, there was a plan, and then there was a change, for sure, for whatever reason. And then there was a writer stepping down, something up. I just don't know. I don't have the behind the scenes knowledge to line any of that up. And gossip's just gossip. It's fun though. Poll question from last week: do Matt and Phyllis have real romantic potential? 57% say yes, 43% say no, which I think is a surprising divide. Not everyone is just jumping right on board and saying, yeah, let's go for it. But Marianne V voted with the majority, saying, yes, I think this Matt and Phyllis would be great together. They have chemistry. Matt is in full redemption mode, and I, for one, am happy to see it. Roger Howarth is great as Matt, and he can stay on now that Matt is no longer an evil criminal. Well, Tony says no. Phyllis is not over what Victor did to her through Marco, nor should she be. Though they never mention it, we know. And Matt is pointedly guilty of the same toward Sharon, although more violently. Phyllis has a new sort of friendship with Sharon. And even if not, Sharon is a woman of the same age who definitely didn't ask for what Matt did to her. but it is a soap. Even Christine was engaged to Michael after a similar attack. And oh, even Paul attacked Christine once. Just don't write those stories anymore. Don't make it seem redeemable. Yeah, Tony, that's like the best argument against Phyllis and Matt. I mean, Phyllis and Sharon are supposed to have this, we've been through something, survivor bond together. And yet, Phyllis dating the man who raped Sharon would be unforgivable. I would imagine that would be a bond that, or something that would break their bond forever, something you just couldn't get over. I think Y&R, though, is pushing pretty hard on the redemptive front. They are definitely making Matt seem like a puppy dog, like a good little boy now who would never do anything like that again. So they're working hard to try to make it work, but fans might not forget so easily what Matt Clark actually used to be like not that long ago even. He got bonked on the head with the coconut and now he's not that person anymore. Oh my goodness. Russell says, I hope those eye bandages don't rip Nikki's eyebrows out. Russell, that gave me a laugh. I know, those bandages are like not placed very well. There's no way that the adhesive is not on her eyebrow. Maybe they were able to get it just above with a light touch. But yeah, the second they pull those Band-Aids off, it's going to be goodbye eyebrow. It's going to be like a free waxing. Oh. Shelly says, okay, I'm writing this on a Tuesday and we'll see how the week plays out with Nikki's blindness. But Allie, I can't believe you haven't thought of the most amazing, scandalous storyline to emerge from Nikki struggling with blindness, even if temporary. Your dream come true. Come along with me for a sec. Nikki receives her surgery and the mass is successfully removed. However, she did not get her eyesight back after she wakes up. Doctors are concerned but hopeful that this is only temporary, but no one knows for sure. Nikki is sent home and forced to adjust to life without sight. Who better to help her but the person who knows exactly how to help someone who is blind? Adam! And Shelley says this leads to the secret affair that I've been waiting years for. I tell you, Shelley, it did occur to me that Adam might have an opinion on this, but I had not fully followed it down the rabbit hole to secret affair until you brought me there. So thank you. Thank you. Because even if only in my mind, a Nikki and Adam affair is so satisfyingly scandalous. You guys, this Y&R Chat has been plagued with recording issues. I ran out of battery life, then I ran out of memory card space on the recording. I was not recording part of it. I stopped to deal with the light and memory card issues and then did not begin pressing record again. So that part of the podcast is not going to sound good. This is not my week. I think I must just be so thrown off guard by that final image of Jack that I'm all out of sorts. Ugh. I must call it a day. Oh, it's all here in some form or another. Another Y&R Chat. I hope that you do enjoy it. Please, please do. And go check out the retro recap about Hope. I mean, speaking of Adam and his mom, I really feel like that is something that Adam is going to connect with Nikki's blindness. I think he's going to remember his mother. And yeah, I think there could at the very least be a friendship between them. Hope is such a great character, just near and dear to my heart, and such an important person in Adam's life too. She's really the yin to the yang of his personality. And I discuss all of that in depth in that retro recap at yrchat.com, which is also where you can find the daily chat. If you have thoughts about the show as you're watching, you can go to Y&R Chat and leave them there. If you want to see my funny little photos that I put up there every day, you can see that. You can vote in the poll, the quotes. You can head to restlessforest.com to check out the story that inspired the story of the Fauna and the Flora. And you can come back next Sunday to see me again and to chat about Jack's recovery and maybe Patty's arrest and who knows what else in this crazy town we call Genoa City. Okay, I love you guys and I hope you have a really good week. Bye.